Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to our Business Insight Talks. I'm your host, Giuditta Villa, Corporate Communication Director at Ayming. Today, I'm joined by our guest, Professor of Politecnico di Milano, Sergio Terzi. The topic of today will be focused on green innovation and how digital solutions are impacting manufacturing industries. But before we jump into it, let me introduce you our guest, Professor Terzi. After a PhD in co-tutorship between Politecnico di Milano and University of Lorraine in France, since 2014, Sergio is professor at Politecnico di Milano, where he teaches industrial technologies. He's deeply interested in sustainability and its impact in manufacturing and innovation. At the graduate school, he serves also as an associate dean. So thanks. We are very happy that we are going to talk about such an interesting topic of green innovation. In Ayming, we help companies in financing their innovation and indeed the green innovation. But according to our experience, sometimes there's a misunderstanding between green innovation and greenwashing. So that leads me to ask you my first question. So what is it actually green innovation?
In my modest opinion, it's something that we should do, all companies should do, and it's something practical. When I say practical, means making innovation happen for creating, consolidating a better world. Better world means a world that obviously is less and less polluted. This is why we say green. That is using resources in the best way that we can and not just wasting them, unfortunately, as often we are doing. As well, other dimensions that are open the discussion to also having a proper inclusion and a proper social acceptance. Anyhow, from one side, I know it seems to be just a name. You can put in front of innovation everything, let's say. But personally, and as a professional researcher, I fully believe that in fact is something that is real. And if we see around us, we have companies that since several years, they are doing business. So they are in the market, developing better products and let's say less polluting, in theory also without any pollution. And for this reason being green, we are used to say green for that.
All right. So thank you for clarifying and giving us a definition of a green innovation. So what prevents companies to implement a green innovation strategy?
Yeah, this is, honestly speaking, not an easy question. Theoretically speaking, nothing should be there to prevent, let's say. The market is asking for green products and green solution. This is evident today. It is around us. So companies should be able to take this as an opportunity and not, let's say, be lost on this, not stop in front of this. Anyhow, we should consider the reality that the biggest part of the market is still looking for considering the green stuff as something still not relevant for them. Personally, I think that there are two reasons behind. One is that they don't know. They didn't pay attention. They are not aware. And it is like that since, it's always better to stay in your comfort zone than entering a new one. The second point is that anyhow, for becoming green, let's say in this way, for doing green products, for having green processes, for having green factories, you should invest. And, when you have to take a decision about investment, you know what you are paying today, you hope to get something in the future. And personally, and not only personally, empirically, we know that when companies are invested in green, in sustainability, they have collected interesting feedback. There are companies today, giant, that they did on sustainability and their green investment, excellent results. But when you are in front of something that you don't know in detail, you can be scared and you can decide, as often companies are doing, deciding to postpone such investment.
Right. So as you said, the return on investment and investing in green innovation might be a challenge for many companies. And And this is also something that we face, we see every day in our work as a consulting company. Though, to be pragmatic, which could be some of the approaches that company can implement to become green, avoiding the trap of greenwashing?
Yeah, I mean, the good point in this discussion is that it's nothing new. There is nothing new here in some way. What today we can call green innovation is something that has been codified at least in the last 40 years. And when I say codified, means that we can use tools, we have methods, we have approaches that on which companies and persons they can be trained on. I mean, something very practical. If a company today would like to make a product that is greener, he has just to buy an handbook of eco design. Said like this seems to be quite trivial. I know that it's not so easy. At least somebody has to read the book. But the good point is that the knowledge is codified. It's codified into a person that can be trained, consultants can be hired, experience, expertise are out of there. Cases, I'm used to saying this way, here there is nobody that is the first. No, most of the companies, they have just to copy what others did. That seems to be tricky, but it's the real life. So it's just, obviously, each of us as economic actor, as each company has to define the proper recipe of becoming greener. But I mean, there are plenty of examples around us that can be considered. And I guess that is something quite important. We are not sending another man on the moon, but it's something complex. We should just try to do our best with the tools that we have, with the methods that we have, for making a better society, for evaluating better, for staying better in our planet. Just applying, as I said, technique that has been invented, written, codified, used.
Yeah, absolutely, and I perfectly see the point. So I agree. We don't need to be giant. We don't need to be overseas. We have a very nice example all over in Europe about that. So let me link now the subject of green innovation to digital solutions, and which is the impact of digital solutions towards green innovation.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of my research field. I mean, also in my research, I'm particularly intrigued by digital technologies. Not just being a user, but also being a developer of some of them, let's say. Today, our companies, our engineers, they can design a product, design it for being greener, let's say, do everything virtually without wasting any resource, and being able to calculate, to estimate at least, the environmental impact, that is the way of measuring if a product is green or not, of what they have designed. Everything in virtual before that is existing. Digital technologies are also reinventing the business for being more sustainable. Seems to be something very strange. In reality, is something very close to us. Like imagine what today we can do with our smartphone. We can rent a car, let's say, or as well, we can book our hotel or whatever, or we can check what is happening around the house. Everything that in the past was asking us a lot of time and sometimes also a waste of resources, today can be done in our hands with a technology, with a list of technology, not just one, that are doing our, let's say, behavior more sustainable, greener, till the point that there are companies that they have invented new way of doing business just thanks to the fact that have new way of being connected with consumers.
Well, I'm glad and happy to listen to you when you say that, and certainly, yeah, you touch a key point. That a green innovation, digital solution, and in fact, are reinventing the business. So, in these terms, what processes should organization put in place for effective implementing solution for green objectives?
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a complete answer. I have, let's say, some of the steps that, in my opinion, every company, honestly speaking, every institution, what we are saying is also valid for not just for private companies, valid for every economic actor. In some way, it's valid also for school, just for saying something close to our families. I mean, all of our institutions, they should do some stuff for becoming, let's say, greener and what they do. The first step, that is one of the points that I consider as a relevant one, is that at first they should understand what they are and what they can become, let's say. That is always a matter of awareness, no? And I guess that also um, activities like this one, what we are doing right now, are really useful. We should talk about this. We should communicate for all the economic actors that there is another way of think about ourselves and our society that should be greener, more sustainable, and this is possible. So seems to be something trivial, is not. First, we should be aware. Second, the second step that I see is that, okay, to imagine that tomorrow we will be able to do everything. So some priorities should exist. And these priorities are really dependent on the company itself. I guess, but it's just my guess, that for most of the typical manufacturing companies in Europe, there are two steps that should be done soonish. One is that, okay, we should make our, let's say, innovation, our product development, let's make it practical, greener. And for this, as I said, it's a matter of applying methods and tools for having a greener development, product development. Second, manufacturing companies that are producing such product, and it's important that they find a way to produce that product in a greener way. So changing their production processes when it is possible, changing the technologies, production technologies, updating the materials that are using. This is something that is so far or often was happening just because somebody was pushing. Somebody, when I'm saying somebody, it could be a government, let's say, or European Commission in our case. But instead, is today should be an easy request from the market. Well, so at least for manufacturing companies, that is my context. That one they know better. These are the two main steps to be done at the beginning, let's say. Then probably many other actions should follow, but each company has to find its recipe. As I said before, the good point is that today a company has not to do something alone, has not to invent the wheel. Has been already invented. Has been just to be used.
That's very clear. So first of all, being aware and then set priorities, those should be the first two action. Though we've seen by listening to you that still there are some challenges, barrier for companies in terms of financial return on investment, but also other aspects. So what is the risk of not implementing green innovation for businesses, according to you?
So the risk is to be out of the game. When I say out of the game, means out of the business. Means that for our companies that they are serving the planet, other provider will do that soonish. This is a first answer. Then there is another answer that's in some ways more philosophical. Let's say that is that one. I don't know what you think about, but I guess that it's evident that the life in the planet is changing, and we have, let's say, some problems, no? But that now probably most of us are finally understanding it. So we should face that. First, I'm not a policymaker, but it's evident that we should do something for making our impact on the planet at least different from what we did so far.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Sergio. In fact, there's a plenty of information we've been sharing. If a listener would have to remember one thing from this episode, which one should it be according to you?
My point is that don't be scared. This green innovation is something that you can do, you must do. The good point is that there are tools, solution, approaches, expertise, experiences that can support you on that. So you don't have to create something dramatically new. You can take it. This is something that you can do. And maybe because I am an industrial engineer at the end of the day, so I'm used to find a practical solution, but really believe that it's something that is achievable.
Absolutely, and a positive feeling, because I can say from our experience, there's plenty of opportunities also to finance those kind of green innovation. So I completely align with you to have this positive and embracing the green innovation is the future for sure. Is there anything else you would like to add, a curiosity or something you're going through your recent research or studies? Where we're happy to hear you.
Just a final comment. I mean, I was mentioning several times the European Commission, since I'm working a lot with. I mean, I can tell you that there, when I'm saying there in the European Commission, in this period, there are plenty of support for doing our business greener, let's say, our company greener. European Commission is pushing a lot. And being in Italy, also in Italy, this is happening something very similar with the PNR plan, let's say. So I guess that it is the time to take this as an opportunity. That sometimes, politics is doing something good. This time is doing something good. So let's take this opportunity. Obviously, I know that for taking this opportunity, you should have some expertise, some support. But again, it's something that is more than achievable. So my suggestion, in particular to companies, is take also this element in mind. This is the proper period for working in this direction.
Very good indeed. So thanks again. Thanks for being on the show. This was Sergio Terzi, professor at Politecnico di Milano. Thanks again, and see you soon for new episodes and new ways to bridge the gap between profit and planet, thanks to people and innovation. Thank you very much again, and ciao, bye now. Thank you, and thank you, Sergio, again. Thanks a lot.